Welcome, everyone, to Locker Talk, episode 50, the show everything WWE, past, present, and future. I am your host, Colton, and as always, by my side is Matt's watching Game of Thrones tonight. Don't ask me why. Apparently, some things are more important than wrestling. Regardless, I am here to give you my thoughts on WWE Extreme Rules 2016. And wow, that was a really fun show. I enjoyed that quite a bit. There were some high spots, there were some low spots, there were some times I wanted to cry, sometimes I wanted to laugh, and all the times I wanted to hit JBL over the head with a microphone. So, with that said, let's jump right into the card. And we start off the night with the Dudleys going into the ring, doing a nice little heel promo, and Big Cass, all 7 foot tall, of him coming out and making the beatdown. Really like what they're doing with Big Cass, and I hope that Enzo Amore can come back soon, so that way they can both bask in the glory of being certified G's and bona fide studs. I really like what they're doing. It seems that they see a lot, at least in Big Cass, and hopefully the same in Enzo Amore. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But thankfully, I managed to order my pizza perfectly in between the time that I could pick it up in between Big Cass giving a beatdown and the start of the first match on the pre-show, which was Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf, against the show-off Dolph Ziggler. And I saw, like, okay, there's 10 minutes before the start of the show, so they're obviously not going to get a bunch of time, which they didn't, but, they did a pretty good job of it. Corbin got the win, rightfully so, which I hate saying against Dolph Ziggler, one of my all-time favorites. But, yeah, Corbin looked really strong. I felt a little weak on the whole no-holds-barred stipulation. If they were just going to use that for a low blow, there's tons of other ways that they could have got around it. Didn't really need to have the stipulation other than the fact that this is Extreme Rules. I feel like I have to say Extreme Rules like that every time I say Extreme Rules, which could get a little weird, but guess what? You're going to have to get over it. This is my show, and you can talk however you want to on your show, because we all know there are too many darn wrestling podcasts on the internet. And this is just one of the thousands that fits that mold. So Corbin comes away with a win. Decent start. I hope they have better things for Baron Corbin on the horizon. But we start off with the Club, which is a okay name, against everybody's favorite little Roman Reigns, the Usos. I really wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this match, just because I don't quite care for either of these teams. Not a big fan of the Usos. I don't really care much about Gallows and Anderson. I've been a little disappointed with them so far in the WWE. I'm not sure if that's just because of the way they've been booked. They haven't been booked great. But we obviously heard a lot about these guys from Japan. And, if you watch other wrestling programs other than WWE, which I think a lot of us do, then you know how legit these guys are. So we haven't really seen that yet so far. But tonight, I think we got a really good match out of these 4 guys. What I liked, it was really fast paced from start to end. The tornado tag stipulation worked really, really well in this scenario. All 4 guys were able to just go at it, and go at it. I don't know any better way to say it than that. The Club picks up the win. The right guys won the match, so we didn't do anything wrong there, which is, I feel like, was the case for most of the matches tonight. Not all of them. We'll obviously get onto that. But yeah, strong showing for the Club. I don't know where they go from here. Obviously, looks like they're sticking with their boy AJ Styles, which we will get onto later. And next, Next, we move on to the United States Championship match, which, first off, bravo to Kalisto and Rusev for not being on the opening, the pre-show. Good job to you guys, Ziggler and Corbin. Maybe you want to next time. But this was a decent match. I used to really not enjoy Rusev at all, but just the kind of his comic timing, and he's just a funny guy, and so I've come to enjoy Rusev a lot more. And I'm really glad he got the win tonight, especially in the fashion that he did. The way that they booked Rusev to look like a monster again. It was a bit reminiscent of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back in NXT, except that Rusev didn't listen to the referee and it wasn't stopped. He just went in and continued to beat the heck out of the little mosquito, as one Jerry Lawler would have us think. And so it was really good. It was good to see Rusev get the win. I hope that he can build the title up, the U.S. title up, as being a little bit more prestigious. I like Kalisto, I really do, but man, this title has just not been doing much with him as the champion. That's a shame, because I really enjoy Kalisto, and I feel like they can make a good amount of money off of him. Let's see. We do have tweets. I'm going to kind of read off the tweets as I go through the matches. All of them except for one, comes from Jared, who is at KDP Buddha on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. I will make sure and tag him in the video on Twitter afterwards. And his thoughts on this match were, let's see. Hoping Rusev's win starts to rebuild the U.S. title. And these are all going to be kind of hashed up because, to be quite honest, I forgot to read out all the tweets at the beginning like I normally would. Guess I'm just still really excited. So to get them in, we'll just kind of read them as we go along. Should be fun, don't you think? I think so too. Anywho, so yeah, Rusev, I hope he starts to build up this title. For whatever reason, WWE is kind of doing away with the whole big monster guy who crushes everything in his path. And I feel like Rusev could really be that guy. Even this match, he could have just went out there and just demolished Kalisto. It wouldn't have made Kalisto look good, but it would have made Ryback look really good. And then you could easily rebound Kalisto's street image, if that's what you'd like to call it, and rebound him in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I'm excited for Rusev. And here's to him losing the title in 8 days when John Cena comes back on Memorial Day. Should be fun. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so the next match, we get the New Day. And what else can you say about New Day? They are the best thing in wrestling today. They might be the best thing in wrestling in I don't know how many years. Just so ridiculously entertaining. How they managed to keep coming up with new stuff to stay relevant, to stay interesting, is beyond me. So props to those three. Going against the Vaudevillains, who I was really worried about coming to the main roster. Their type of gimmick isn't really the thing that works, but I think they've made the best of what they've been given. Apparently Vince isn't too high on them, which, that's not a great person to not, be liked by. But they went out here, and it was weird. The fact that it was Xavier Woods and Big E in the match. I like seeing Xavier wrestle a little bit, get in there. I missed Francesca number 2, but that's okay. I like this match, but I think it might have been one of the on the lower half of my favorite matches on the card, just because I thought it went a little bit fast. They didn't have a whole lot of time. We had to make sure to get in all 30 minutes of Jericho and Ambrose playing with household items for some reason. But yeah, the right people won once again. The New Day retains and will go on to hold the titles for the rest of time. Make it happen. Okay. So we move on Oh gosh, this match. All right, so we will read some tweets here. Jared, once again, who is at KDP Buddha, says, love the IC title match. So far, I'm liking the new era of the WWE. Hopefully, they can keep it up this summer. And Kevin Owens needs to win Money in the Bank, which I completely agree with. I love Kevin Owens as much as the next guy, probably more. And so I was really, really excited for this match. The Intercontinental title, Miz, Owens, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn, my favorite wrestlers in the world, and The Miz, all in one match. And match of the year, maybe? Yes, no? I put a poll up on the old Twitter, which you should be following if you're not, at WWE Locker Talk. And if I can find it really quick while still talking, basically asking after this match what people thought was the match of the year. Either this match, the IC title fatal 4-way, or Nakamura versus Zayn. And the last I checked, it was pretty close. Okay. 67% said the IC match fatal 4-way was the match of the year. 33% said Zayn Nakamura. I think I will give the slight edge to Zayn Nakamura. But man, this this match just had everything. It started off hot, that Helluva kick from Sami Zayn to Kevin Owens, and then Cesaro getting rid of The Miz. Just a great way to start. And then it just went back and forth, and it was just so unpredictable, and everybody was doing something, and Cesaro took about every move known to man. And God, it was just great. And I was catching my breath. I was holding my breath. I was screaming. I was yelling. It's everything I want out of a wrestling match, and every reaction that every wrestling match should hope to give the audience is what I got from that match. And it was just wondrous to behold. They did it multiple times where somebody would do a move on someone and Miz would go break it up and he'd go for the pin. And I would just scream, no, don't let the Miz win. And it obviously, usually Cesaro would kick out, and unfortunately that's how the match ended. But it got me so into it, and they were just going crazy, and the crowd was just so into it. Everything about this match, Helluva kick, after uppercut, after pop-up powerbomb, after yelling at The Miz, after The Miz just kind of being there, that frog splash from Owens onto The Miz. I mean, once again, I don't love The Miz, but you have to give the man credit. He definitely held his own in there with those three guys. And then Maurice was there. She's attractive and, nice to look at, but that's not the point of any of this, obviously. And man, they just kept going. There were so many different times in this match where I thought, okay, it's about to end right here. And then they go on for another 5 minutes and things just keep happening. And had no clue who was going to win, no clue what was going to happen. But darn it, Sami Zayn, get your butt back in that ring, son. Like, what are you doing? You're going to let The Miz win. Like, Sami, you disappointed me, son. Also, man, the crowd was hot for my boy Sami Zayn, which is great to hear. They everywhere seems to do the entrance theme. Everyone sings that. But man, they were really into the Olay chants. There was a really fun Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn dueling chant, which, my heart will tear it into 1,000 pieces. And man, I don't know. I have to go watch that match again. Probably a lot. It's probably gonna be one that I'm gonna watch a lot. Definitely up there. Definitely debatable as match of the year candidate. But once again, I just think Nakamura Zayn just had the slight edge, a little bit better crowd the whole time, and it had Shinsuke Nakamura. What more can you ask for? Do not know. So we have this phenomenal match, pun intended, and then we are expected to follow up with an Asylum match. And what are the rules of an Asylum match, you ask? Well, you're asking the wrong person, because I have no clue, even now, really the whole point of an Asylum match. We got Good old Dean Ambrose against everybody's favorite lead singer, John Bon Jovi, in a Living on a Prayer match or an Asylum match or a cage match, or apparently was in TNA when that was a thing. I don't know what was wrong with this match, because technically this should have been an amazing match. It should have been a lot of fun. But for whatever reason, something was really missing with this match. I think they were playing up the comedic element of this too much. And for the history that Ambrose and Jericho have, I think they should have been a little bit more focused on the match. There was only like 2 or 3 pinfalls in the match, if I remember right. I just remember that the match didn't have a whole lot of those. The weapons weren't that impressive, obviously, until we got to the last few minutes of the match. But like I said, this match, I'm looking here on Wikipedia, and this match was 26 minutes and 21 seconds, the longest on the card. And it really felt like that. It just dragged on and on and on. Kind of like this show. Just keeps dragging on and on, even though nobody cares enough to watch. But, you know, for what they were given, I think they tried. Jericho's been amazing since coming back to WWE for this run. I wondered, his eyes were really bloodshot during this match, so I don't know if he was like drunk or really high to get ready for this. I mean, I don't blame him. If I was going to, be slammed onto a bunch of thumbtacks, I would get really drunk too. And I wouldn't want to feel that. For anyone who was questioning whether or not that actually hurt, or if Jericho was just selling too much, I feel like that was pretty real. Like, it would not feel very good to be thrown on a bunch of thumbtacks. Like, you accidentally, prick yourself with one of them on accident, and you think, ow, that hurts a lot. Now you have, 30 or 40 going into your back and your arm, your hands, and ow. So good on Jericho, this old man who is willing to go through a bunch of thumbtacks when he has no rightful business doing so. The man is a 6-time world heavyweight champion, a first ballot Hall of Famer by anybody's claims, but he's still out there making young stars like Dean Ambrose look good and going through a bunch of tacks, which is really good. The end of this match almost saved it for me. I feel like if the match was 10 minutes shorter, the ending would have saved the whole thing, but it was just a little too long. It drug out a little too far with not a whole lot happening to really save it. But the ending was good. They tried their best. I think my favorite part of the match was Jericho's face when he saw Ambrose dump out all the thumbtacks. That's going to be a really good meme, hopefully soon. I'm sure somebody already has it posted on the internet. If you want to find that, send it to us once again at WWE Locker Talk on Twitter. It's not a shameless plug. I feel no shame for doing it. It's what we do. But yeah, just I don't know if it was the fact that this followed a phenomenal match for the IC title. The crowd was a little bit dead. They only kind of got alive for Ambrose jumping off the top of the cage with the elbow, thumbtacks. Jericho screaming to get out of the cage 30 seconds in was quite entertaining. I don't know what it is, and my co-host Matt will probably hate me for saying this, but I just feel like Ambrose has been a little bit stale and a little bit boring as of late. Like there's nothing wrong at all with what he's been doing. All the stuff that he's been doing has been really good. But there just hasn't been that little extra spark, that little extra something to really make me care about what he's doing and his matches. I mean, I love Mitch the Plant as much as the rest. I was shocked they didn't use Mitch Jr. in this match. That was a little bit of a shocker for me as well. But once again, that's not the point. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm torn on this match. For 95% of it, not great. The last couple minutes were pretty enjoyable. So I'll let them have a pass, and we can see whether or not Jericho sticks around now. He said after last time he wasn't gonna, excuse me, he wasn't coming back, or he wasn't staying. He stayed. Let's wait until tomorrow and read his Twitter and just assume the opposite of whatever he says. Kind of like we do with Finn Balor. Everything you see him tweet, just believe the opposite, and that's usually what is true. So we get to the submission match for the women's championship. And I was really, really excited about this match for multiple reasons. One, the women are getting a submission match. That's pretty cool, thinking back that 10, 15 years ago, the women's title was held in bra and panties matches. And there, I remember I was watching it on the WWE Network at Armageddon, I think, and they had a match in a swimming pool. The title changed hands in a swimming pool. That was a thing that actually happened. And so I was excited that the women who are known for their submissions get to have this match. And I was really excited for that. 2, Ric Flair was banned from ringside. The greatest stipulation in the history of wrestling. No Ric Flair. I love it. And then the match just kind of fell flat on its face. It was a good match. Somebody tweeted on Twitter, I don't remember who, otherwise I would mention who you are, even though you probably don't watch the show. Somebody mentioned this is kind of the opposite of Ambrose and Jericho, where the whole matchup was really good until we get to the ending and where it's all been terrible, which is kind of been the formula for the women's matches on pay-per-view the last few months. Through the last few months, not months. I don't even know what that means. I thought it was Little Nate in the Ric Flair costume at first, and I thought, oh, okay, that's at least continuing with the story. But no, it's Dana Brooke, and at least I think we figured out who she was sending those nude pictures that leaked online to. Ric Flair, and that's really, really gross. And I don't want to think about that anymore. Ugh. Okay, let's not think about that anymore. That's not okay. And yeah, it just rubbed me the wrong way once again. I mean, Charlotte and Natalya are 2 of the best women's wrestlers in the business. And for once, I would love for them to just get a chance to go out there and show what they have and actually have an actual match that comes down to which one of them is the best. And I thought this might be a good chance that we could get that. But once again, we end it with interference from Dana Brooke. I don't get why do people like Dana Brooke? Do people like Dana Brooke? I don't know. I don't understand it at all. She still can't wrestle. I'm sorry, if you want to chant "you can't wrestle" at someone, probably should chant that at Dana Brooke and not Roman Reigns. He's leaps and bounds better than she is. But that's a moot point. We will see where the women's division goes. I don't know. It kind of feels like they're ending things with Natalya, but I can definitely see will they'll keep going for one more pay-per-view. Even though at this point I feel like we're probably a little bit tired of it. Would like to see someone new in there. And what didn't make sense to me was that Dana Brooke has been feuding with Becky Lynch. Are they just abandoning that now? Are we going to be getting Becky Lynch and Natalya against Dana Brooke and Charlotte? That wouldn't be terrible as long as Dana Brooke stayed outside the ring for the whole match. But it's interesting. Once again, it'll be pretty interesting to see where this goes. And let's see. Yeah, Jared, once again, echoing my sentiments there. Still waiting for a women's title match without interference. Disappointed with the Asylum match. Would have been better served to cut about 10 minutes off and pack the action. I feel like we're on the same wavelength tonight. We're doing pretty good with this. We're having a lot of the same thoughts. And we got a new tweet in here from our good friend at Steven Cyril. Steven, first off, buddy, I hope you're feeling better. That accident, man, that's really terrible. I don't have a better way of saying that, but man, I really hope you're feeling better. See that you're still working really hard and being awesome. And Steven says that I find the I need to pack it in, folks. It's been a long day. Let's try this again. I find thumbtack spots, say that 5 times fast, to be a sad reminder of the sacrifices and risks these wrestlers make for us. I believe my exact words during that spot were, ouchie, that hurt a lot. So yeah, there's that. So we move on from this and we get to Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles in an Extreme Rules match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And really, up until now, other than the straight jacket and the tax, we haven't really gotten a whole lot of extreme, other than Baron Corbin low-blowing Dolph Ziggler. And so I was pretty excited to see what they were going to do. They've done a pretty good job, I think, of adding the chairs and adding a little bit more extremeness into the build-up of this show and this feud. Excuse me, my goodness. That's good tea. And I thought they did a great job. Man, if it wasn't for that Intercontinental Championship match, this easily would have been the match of the night. There were just so many really good, big, fun, hardcore, may I say, spots in this match where, man, just everything when Reigns flipping Styles over him onto the table and spearing spearing Styles out of the air, and everything, the Styles Clash onto the chair. I really enjoyed that. They actually hit 2 Styles Clashes in one match, which is crazy because everyone was saying that, oh, they've banned the Styles Clash. Obviously, it's not going to win matches. You did the first. I'm like, oh, well, that's not going to win a match. It's like Sami Zayn's Blue Thunder Bomb. It's really great, but it's not going to win, which is sad. I also think that they should make the Blue Thunder Bomb Sami's finisher, but that's a moo point. You know, moo point, like a cow's opinion. It's moo. Doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, man, they just went for it, and man, Styles took so many bumps on his back, which apparently is already injured. Reigns took a beating. Reigns gave a great beating. Half of it was from Styles. The other half was from the crowd. So a double beating. Good job, Mr. Roman Reigns. Man, the crowd just doesn't like this guy. And while I appreciate your freedom to voice your opinion, great turn of phrase, I don't understand the whole you can't wrestle thing at Roman Reigns. The guy has shown time and time again that he can put on really good wrestling matches. Last year at Extreme Rules, he had an amazing match with the Big Show. Remember that, folks. He had a great match with the Big Show. Big Show. I'll just sit here and wait for that to sink in. No, not really, because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. But really, really good match. I didn't mind the interference on this one. It added a few fun false finishes. I think if the interference would have led directly into the match finish, I wouldn't have liked it as much. But there were some really fun false finishes. The boot thing, I don't know what the thing is called for Gallows and Anderson. Magic Killer, something like that. Whatever it is, Reigns, great false finish, the Styles Clash, all of it was just really fun. Just a hard-hitting, impactful, Extreme Rules match, which is what it was, and it was done really, really well. And I enjoyed it a heck of a lot. Man, I was sitting and thinking, wow, this is fun. This is what wrestling is supposed to be. It's fun. I was enjoying myself. I was having a good time watching a really good match, and that's what wrestling is all about. And I hope you all enjoyed it too much, and I hope that we can remember not to get caught up in too much of this. Oh, I like this guy. You don't like this guy. I like this person, but I don't like this person. All this arguing and drama and blah blah blah. These arguments that break out on the internet, which are childish, and really annoying. And I think a lot of people often forget that this is just supposed to be fun. And a lot of times, if you just let yourself enjoy it, most of the time you will have fun. It's pretty simple. Don't think about it too much, and just watch it. Wrestling is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be nonsensical at times. It's supposed to be guys beating the heck out of each other at times, which Reigns and Styles did a really good job at. And so, yeah, really good show, really good pay-per-view. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like something else important happened, but I don't remember what. Seth Rollins! The return we've all been waiting for a long, long time. Seth Rollins is back. He's coming for the world title. It's going to be awesome. Awesome. I'm super excited. A little less excited the fact that he's still using the pedigree. I feel like he could have worked on a new finishing move in the time that he was gone. But I refuse to complain. It was awesome. I can't wait for Raw tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome. It's all going to be awesome. SmackDown's going to be awesome. Mauro Ranallo's going to be awesome. The Shining Stars are... Okay, I can't go that far, but it's going to be awesome, okay? Just trust me on this. It's going to be awesome. Unlike The Miz, it will be awesome. So, those are all my thoughts on WWE Extreme Rules 2016. This is our 50th episode of Locker Talk, which I think is really amazing, the fact that we have made 50 of these shows, and yet somehow a few people still watch it and find it entertaining. Thank you, everyone who watched this one live. I saw a few people coming in and out throughout the show. We appreciate you. And for all you Matt heads who are clamoring to see Matt, I'm sorry he's not here tonight, but he will definitely be back here soon. We'll have a lot more fun shows to do just on a night when it's more convenient for him to not be watching a Lord of the Rings ripoff. Just kidding, except I'm not. So yeah, this has been Locker Talk episode 50, Extreme Rules. I am your host, Colton. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at WWE Locker Talk if you haven't already. Make sure you do all those fun things that they do at the end of every YouTube show where they say like, subscribe, share, all that other fun stuff. Or if you don't think that it's a good show, don't do that. I'm not going to force you to do that, and you can control your own life. So I'm going to stop rambling on here. I hope you all enjoyed Extreme Rules 2016. We will be back, I hope, soon. We're thinking about a few things for a new show. We're going to kind of refresh some old thoughts, talk about some new thoughts, and tell you who we think should be the face of the WWE. So, once again, this has been WWE Locker Talk, episode 50. I am Colton, and I will see you all next time.